Today's scripture is taken from Psalms 119, verse 165, and it says, "Those who love your law have great peace and do not stumble." A lot of us have circumstances in our lives that we have no control over. It could be anything, it could be something good, it could be something bad, but if we don't have any control over the outcome of those things, we just kind of have to let it go and accept it and move past it just for our own sanity. And one thing that you can do is just trust God and His plan for your life, and that He knows that even though there are certain things you can't control, He's going to work it all out for you in the end. When I lost my husband last year, um, that was a circumstance I could not control. He took his own life. Maybe he just was fed up with living, and I don't know, exactly why he did what he did, but I had to accept it and trust God to know that He has a plan for my life, and no matter what happens, it's all going to work out in the end. I know many of you guys have heard of the Serenity prayer, and it says, um, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And I'm just reading it here. The courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are certain things in our lives that we are not going to be able to change. We have to leave those things in God's hands and trust and know that He's going to work it out in His perfect plan, because He knows what plan He has for your life. Even if you don't know, He knows. And it says there, you have to accept those things. There are certain things you're not going to be able to change, and it's okay. But there are things that you are going to be able to change, and you should have courage to know that you can trust God more. You can have more faith in God. You can go out and make a difference in a kid's life or an adult's life. There are certain things you can do to change who you are, to be a better person, a better you, a better human in this society. But you have to know the difference between the things you can change and the things you cannot change. Some things you just got to leave it to God. A lot of us, we want our lives to unfold in our way and on our time and in a snip of the hand, a snap of a finger. We want it done that way. But there's some things you're just not going to be able to do that with, because God has a different plan for that in your life. So I encourage you today to pray that you'll be able to know the difference between the things you can and cannot change, and go forth and do those things in God's name.